Why is the desktop audio not working? Oh, I know why. Good morning, everybody. My name is Osa. We are starting a new series here on Glenleathann and a build farm. And we just need some equipment. So, and this annoyed me. So, in the store discounts today, we have a Deutz Series 7 again. Seems like every time I start a new series, Deutz Series 7 comes up. And I've used it too many times, so we're not going to bother. This is just incredible. Way too much horsepower for what I need, so I'm not too worried about that. This, however, we're probably going to need something like that, so I will take that. I'm not going to put license plates on the towed equipment, since in the UK the towed equipment is the same license plate as the towing vehicle. And we could be towing this. You know what? Doesn't matter. We could be towing this with any of our tractors, so that's a thing. What else do we have available? That's kind of small. Yeah, that is kind of small. That's kind of cute. And a reasonable size. I would consider that, but we don't have any manure to spread. This is 16 litre. No, not happening. That's a thing. That's... what is that? That's a cedar. Oh, that's from the Horseshed Renovation Pack, and he's 48,000. Ooh, I might want one of those. I might want one of those too. That is 117 horsepower total. Oh, let's have a look. That is 99 horsepower as set. But it does have a front loader. It has a front weight. Doesn't have a beacon. Ooh. We'll come back to that. Maybe later. It's a fast. Woohoo! Hello. 235 horsepower for that. That's not bad. And we also have one of those. Definitely get one of those. I'm not sure what, if anything, I'm going to do with... we're probably going to do bales because contracts. So, we will turn that off. No, actually, I'm not having that. It's a dolly. Yeah, no. Oh, fast track for 100,000. Oh, what's that come with? No front loader. No, we have fields. We have a field of grass. It needs to be cut. We need to get to that. So first things first, I need a tractor that is appropriate for cutting grass. Now I was looking at this. It's 202. And this is 179. But that's only 210 horse, that's 230. 202, okay. That adds 20,000 to it. It's 202. So the other one is actually, well, actually the other one isn't cheaper because we would have to add 10,000 to it to make it a CVT. But they're pretty close. And the Q is heavier. Okay, I'm going with the Q. I have a 3-point front hitch. Oh, this one comes with a CVT. Okay, I don't have to add 10,000. This is actually options 5,000. What's costing me 5,000? The 3-point at the front. Okay. Since we're doing grass and driving, I'm going to go with standard. Roof setup, standard. Reverse driving, yes. I should have put a steering wheel at the back. It has panoramic vehicle window, yes. Stowage setup. Assuming that's something inside. Ooh, I get a bigger tray at the back. It costs me 700. Nope, interior design. We can have grey or we can have black. Stick with grey. Front loader attacher, not at this time. Azario Pro, not at this time. GPS at this time. Main colour is black. There's white, there's beige, there's silver. That really doesn't look like silver. Just saying. I'm going to go with the grey. Rim colour, yes, and we'll have a license plate on the tractor. And it will be on the back. Okay. So, I am going to buy that very expensive tractor. And we are going to buy a mower. I have a specific mower in mind. We are getting this one, which is 52,000, which is going to chew up a ton of our money, and we are going to buy a weight because we're going to need one, and probably that one. And default configuration. Okay. We are set up for grass. Now, I might look at contracts later, but for right this minute, we need to make money. And we need to make money really, really quickly. So, and Captain Zank, good morning and welcome to Scotland. Again, we return to Scotland. Okay, we'll fold that up. So, one of the reasons I've gone for this particular setup is because select the weight. There we go. I've never used this equipment. Now, we know that the mower mounts on the back because turn signals. That's the left turn signal on the back, and it has a brake light on the back. So this mower definitely doesn't mount on the front. But the output for the mower is closest to the tractor. So you have to do this thing backwards, and this tractor has a reversible steering wheel. So we are playing with precision farming. We are playing with Maize Plus and probably a few other things. I've dropped the real clock, but one of the other mods I'm playing with has a real clock, so that's what's displayed in the top corner. And these hills are steep, and these tractors do not like the hills. At the farm, we have a farmhouse, we have a repair shop with a couple of bays, so good storage. We have 2 silos for silage, And I may need a third, but I'm not sure at this time. We have 2 fields. One has corn, one has grass. And then we have the yard itself, which has 2 patches of grass that are not currently fields. But you know what? They might become fields later. We have no animals because I have no food. I'm playing with the enhanced animal system, so if we get animals and I don't feed them, they will die. So we need to make sure we have food before we do animals. At this point, I'm going to, in general, avoid bales, just because bales are a problem. Now, we may add bales later, or we may start using bales on the farm later, but for right now, I'm going loose silage for everything, and we'll see what trouble that gets us into. I am going to need that JCB. I'm going to need a telehandler of some description. However, maybe I don't need that JCB right away. That's our cornfield. No, that's not our cornfield. Surprisingly, there are a lot of cornfields planted at this stage. Corn is not something that is usually grown in Scotland. Or at least it wasn't back in 2018 when I looked it up, because we were playing on Lawfolds at that time. Anyway, we shall get in here. And unfold the thing while I fish the tea bag out of my tea. Still a bit long. Okay, that is unfolded. We need to reverse the steering. So the seat turns round and the guy reappears in the seat facing the other way. That was cool. Now, one thing I have discovered driving backwards is that while steering works, so steering is absolutely logical. If I want to turn to the left, that's where the wheel takes me. If I want to turn to the right, that's where the wheel takes me. But if I want to drive forward, that's in the direction of the engine. And if I want to drive backwards, this is driving backwards. So the gearbox is reversed. Well, you can't have everything. We have that done. I am going to do this with GPS because it's just going to be a little bit quicker. We will show the lines for now. Set A, set cardinal, back. Gauge GPS, lower the mower, turn it on, and we are off. And I forgot to turn the conditioner on. We are off. Okay. So as you can see, this does kind of row the grass to either side of the tractor's wheels somewhat. To our right is the yard. You can see the farmhouse. I added a fence. There's a workshop. There is a pressure washer. There is a gas tank on the far side of the workshop. And then we have our 2 silage bunkers. There is enough room for another one if I need to. And my thoughts are, if we do add cows, we're going to be doing a couple of silage products. So I'm going to need at least 2 silos, 1 for each, and then I'm also going to need at least 1 free, so that as we collect the grass we can load it in the free one while the other one's still in use and let it ferment, and then sell the old silage and bring in and activate the new as feed. Those are huge silos, so I have no idea how much it's going to take to fill them. Oops. And it's still going to take me a little bit to get used to this whole mower thing. I need to go backwards. Anyway, so we are off. Grass cutting, it's August. I'm playing 4-day seasons, so each day is effectively 1 week. At the moment we're in August, so there is only 1 day. As we move into September, I may speed up time, but for right now we're going to pay real time. I've only got 1 field to work, so that's fine. We do not have lease to own. We do have extended loans. So I can't borrow $5,000 or £5,000. I have to, how does it work? I have to basically say that I want to borrow $20,000 over a 5-year period, and it will tell me how much I need to repay a month. So we need to be still getting used to the gearbox in reverse. We need to be careful about that. Now, as far as this tractor is concerned, we got 230 horsepower. That's about 17 less than the Deutz has. And I can't believe that we got another Series 7 offered on store sales, because quite frankly that's just coming up way too frequently for me. It's a conspiracy. That's all I can think. And reverse. I know with this setup I need to do about 2 headlands in order to enable the tractor to do a good turnaround and line up. And Patchwork, good morning and welcome to the Scottish stream. We are back on a Scottish map. This is Glenleathann. Good, lift that up. Now what I'm probably going to have to do with that swath of fresh grass is I could ted it. I could buy a tedder and ted it. I think once we've got this cut, I'm gonna need a windrower. I'm going to need a what else am I gonna need? I'm gonna need a loading wagon. And that's good. Backwards. We missed a bit. 2 bits. So I am going to run across the bottom. We'll run back up to the top, and then it's just a straight up and down the rows. No. Yeah, the thing is, I mean, back in Farm Sim 17, Farm Sim 2019, 17 and 19, I was a strong proponent of the Valtra N is probably the best starting tractor. You could run it up to 205 horsepower. You could put narrow wheels, wide wheels, all the wheels, front loader attacher, and it was cheap. It was a small tractor, so it was highly manoeuvrable as well. So that kind of made for a tractor that was fairly cheap and had everything you could want from a starting tractor. As such, I started a lot of my Farm Sim 17 and 19 games with the Valtra as my starting tractor. So much so I would sell the starting equipment in Farm Sim 17 and buy myself one. So towards the end of Farm Sim 19, I basically said I don't want to use the Valtra N because I've just used it too much and I need to use other pieces of equipment. So you'll generally find, for the most part, I've avoided using a Valtra N on any game save. Eventually, sort of later, I may get a Valtra T as one of my medium tractors, but yeah, when Farm Sim 22 came out, the only Valtra that was in the game was the Valtra G. None of the others were, which was a little bit upsetting, but okay, it gives me something else to find. So for Farm Sim 22, obviously the Favorite 515C was a good starting tractor. It comes with all of the options you could want, 150 horsepower for less than 100,000. So I overused that a bit. And I also discovered the Class Arian 600 was a good alternative to the Valtra N. It did everything the Valtra N did. So that is kind of a good starting tractor. But again, I tried to avoid using the Arian as my starting tractor. With Farm Sim 22, the store sales are a lot more comprehensive. So I've ended up generally picking up a tractor that is in the starting store sales, because it makes for having a cheap vehicle up front, and you can get one that's a little oversized. So in our case, all too frequently, we've ended up with a Deutz Series 7 coming in because that's the one tractor that is in the store sales. I'm using the vehicle sales extension, whatever it's called, and as such we have a lot more pieces of equipment up for sale than the normal 3 to maybe F5. So I did buy the grain cart because I think we're going to need one of those. I would like a small tractor to do things like windrowing and what have you. So the Case Luxem may be a good option as a small tractor. I can't believe we also got the option of a fast track. That would be a good tractor. That would put it in the same horsepower range as this. So we've got two tractors that can do the big heavy work, and the fast track's faster, but it doesn't have the reverse drive. And obviously using this mowing kit, I want a reverse drive because that's how you're supposed to use it. Anyway, it gives this kit a little bit of a workout, which I've not really used so far. I have field stones turned off. I have no idea if any of the fields on the map have stones in them, so we'll discover that as we go. I may later on turn them on and put a lime thing in place. So this is quite a big field. The maze over there is quite a big field, and I do intend getting a smaller forage harvester to forage maize so we can turn it into silage. I don't own the BGA. I'm not sure if I want to. I think one of these grass plots here will hold an animal husbandry. The other one I may just use as extended yard space. It depends how much equipment I actually need. I think for now we're probably doing okay just picking up a few grass contracts August through September, and maybe later, once we got money coming in, we can look at that. And I must admit, let me put that on cruise control. What I haven't done is look to see what contracts are out there and how well they pay. They pay quite well, don't they? So, yes, potentials. So, no lease to hire or lease to own. So any leasing will be very short term. What I want to try and do is lease a piece of equipment, hold it for as short a time as possible and let it go. We're basically renting it from the store. And if we run out of cash, we are going to take out a long-term loan to buy other stuff. And that might happen sooner than I would like. But I don't really want to hamper myself into the point where I have to make X amount of money every month just to cover the loan. Because obviously over winter there is no income that we're going to have. I haven't enabled the open gardens, so I don't have any way of making money from that. I don't know how much maintenance on our buildings is going to cost. What I might end up doing is putting in a solar panel somewhere just so that we can cover the building maintenance that we might have. Yeah, there is, I think that might be a potato field to our south. I'm not sure, I haven't really looked at it. Actually, that might not be potatoes there. Nope, that is potatoes. So we've got potatoes here, which is why I don't want to buy that field. That is soybeans, which is an option. That's corn. All of these four are grass. The other nice thing about this was the farm itself was 18% off the land value. This was 6.3% off the land value, and this was also 6.3% off the land value. So we didn't pay an exorbitant amount to buy those fields. I did a trial start yesterday